Alexx, I'll probably help team build with them.
Yeah.
Which is good.
No, that's good. Like, I wanted to make sure before, like, I used you for team building or practicing, and then you know stuff.
Yeah.
I told Brandon
We're live, so don't reveal anything.
Yeah.
What's going on, guys? ScottySparks here, coach here, London Luxray, bringing you a PR ranking. I got SupremeSean here and Tillsonburg Trubbish, coached by Alexx. You guys want to say hi?
Hey, I'm Alexx.
And we're gonna get into the PR stuff. So we're gonna do it differently. We got this here. 3 teams. This is what I use to the right to keep track of the people that we've gone through. But I guess since we're only doing it by video, I can remove some people here. But we're going to do it by battle and then say where we rank them. All right. Does anyone want to talk about the first game we're talking about? We got Brandon.
I'll talk about it because I'm the one who wanted to.
Yeah, Brandon versus Liam. Give me a second. My Excel sheet just kind of shit the bed on me. Isn't that fun? I might have to close it and open it. Okay. So I can save it somehow. That's weird. It's not doing anything, but I can save the power ranking? Okay. That's cool. Yeah, I'm all good. If you want to go into it, Sean.
Alright. So I wanted to start with this game first because when you first, like, I think when I first watched this game and just after it was like, oh, Liam beat Brandon, that was that. Like, he not destroyed him, but like he did well. But if you look at this game again, then you'll sort of see some interesting things. Like, Brandon almost won this. It was actually a roll for him to win.
Yeah.
Because basically, like on Brandon's basically Brandon almost had this game. He had Brayber, the Ninetales, and like I'm pretty sure the roll was like it was a 50-50 almost. And if he got the roll and Salazzle wasn't Scarf, then Crobat just straight up won with Brayber. But I think like, and I want to talk about Brandon's point of view first. And I'll go with point of
Wait,
view, but
just to add to that, do you know Salazzle was scarfed?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I don't know.
Because it's a different story if we knew it was scarfed versus.
Salazzle was not scarfed. It was. I think it was focus stashed.
Oh, okay, so he did have rocks up though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So it would have broken, and then because he had the layers of rocks and spikes, he would have taken too much damage from Brave Bird, and Salazzle would have dropped.
Yeah. So Brandon almost won that on a 50-50 roll. I think he would have done a lot better, but if you go back and watch the game, half of Brandon's team didn't do anything. Like, Fortress got up rocks and spike, which is basically its job. So, I mean, it did that. Raikou did absolutely nothing. It, like, Toxic the chance and got, like, a Volt Switch off, but, I mean, it's a chance that, like, it can deal with that easy. So, Raikou did nothing.
I didn't like that he was using the Raikou as kind of an answer to the Chansey, because it wasn't even doing damage to it.
And, yeah, like, Chansey can switch out.
You feel like if anything, Crobat would be a Chansey answer.
Yeah, like just
it has Roost and Taunt, like
and Toxic.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so Raikou did nothing. Infernape did nothing. It died to a Scarf Necrozma, because Brandon wasn't Scarf. The Goodra also did nothing. I think it tried to switch in on Necrozma, took like more than 50% and died again or something.
It also got switched in on a couple of Seismic tosses, so it took a lot of damage.
Yeah, so like the Goodra did nothing. The Golek killed Executor after taking 90%. So basically, it killed one thing on the team and then died. The only thing that did anything was that Crobat. Crobat almost single-handedly won that game.
Mm-hmm.
And like I think Brandon would have taken that a lot easier if his team was different or if he played it out differently. Because yeah, the Crobat single-handedly almost won, and like literally Fortress got rocks and spikes up, and that was it.
Yeah, I haven't even turned 13 or 14. Brandon used the Crobat to U-turn to scout something when he could have just used Brave Bird and killed whatever was in front of him.
Yeah, I'll add to that because I don't know what that was, but I'm realizing like it doesn't seem like Brandon likes playing offense, and it just seems like there's sometimes in like especially these matches where he would rather win through Toxic than through hitting something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess I didn't notice that before, but yeah, that Chansey, if U-turn did that much, Braybird definitely killed Chansey at that range. So I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
There's no reason not to Braybird there, I feel.
Because, like, if you think about it, Chansey's just, like, someone having Chansey is just a great excuse to bring a fighting type. Like, Infernape could have easily been this answer to Chansey.
Infernape, even with, like, just close
Banded
combat,
U-turn, like,
probably OHKO'd it.
Like, Banded U-turn is all you really needed.
Golurk, too, which could have fought it, but I know originally he got stuck in a band, so he had to switch out.
Yeah. And also, he has a Hariyama on his team, which switches into Toxic really well, and you get, like, the freest Guts close combat of your life.
Yeah.
And that's what I had. That was my mindset going up against Liam. Like, if people have stuff like Chansey and Blissey that are easy to take advantage of, like, take advantage of it. Don't lose a Raikou to
Liam's best play with that thing is the seismic toss, but even then
Yeah.
you can get a 1 to 2.
To be fair, it has like flamethrower, so he could have had coverage, I believe, for the fortress, but that's a very like niche kind of thing.
Yes.
I don't know, it just didn't seem like Brandon was offensive enough this game. And it's funny because he was Scarf Gudra, so
One of my big points from this game too was as I watched it a second time, I noticed that Brandon just did a lot of switching and taking a lot of damage early on. Like Gudra just got switched in and immediately switched out. The Raikou got switched in, didn't do anything.
Well, Gudra was Scarf, so he might have.
Yeah. Gudra was Scarf?
Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah.
But yeah, like he put it in against a seismic toss, and there goes 30% of his tankiest, one of his tankiest Mons' damage.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's what I think Brandon might need to work on, as the season progresses, is changing his team to bring his more offensive threats. Like he has Hariyama and Pinsir on the bench this game. Two of his big threats. Although he didn't bring his Regen Core. This is one of the few games he didn't bring his Regen Core.
Yeah.
Yeah, so are we good to go over to Liam?
Yeah, we can go Liam.
Yeah.
I like the way he played.
Yeah, like I would straight up Liam played this game well. It was that end game that he almost completely threw.
Yeah.
What part of this end game? I'll skip to it.
It's right when he has the Necrozma with Struggle. Instead of switching out, he takes Struggle damage.
Because it's a 4v1 versus a Crobat, and he has a healthy Scarf Necrozma, but it's out of
And it was Scarf too, right? So he had to have had some better option.
Yeah.
But basically, he stayed in and struggled, allowing Brandon to roost up, and then after that, Crobat just Braybird and almost won. If he had done anything, like if he swapped out Necrozma, gone anything else, and basically Brandon has Braybird everything in front of him. He has no time to roost, and after he's taking so much Recove and Braybird, Necrozma can come back in, and if a move didn't kill beforehand, now it kills after all that.
Especially if it was Sash Salazzle. Sack the Salazzle, and then go Glade. No, then go Ninetales. Get the Hail up. Like that's probably like his end game was a little iffy, because if he goes Salazzle, sacks that, Ninetales gets the Hail up, then Glade probably didn't have Shadow Sneak. But at that point, he can't Oko Necrozma, and he's taking too much damage.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, his biggest misplay was the fact that he was using a Struggle Necrozma, and the Mon in front of him could nearly kill everything. Like,
to be fair, when you have 4 Mons to 1, you kind of feel a little comfortable.
Roll that thing lived,
and if Brandon had Roost, I think it would have been a different story.
He did have Roost.
He did, and he roosted on the struggle that
the last struggle.
Yeah, so he had a bunch of health. And that was Liam 100% should have swapped out, put pressure, making Braybird, and then come back and start Necrozma.
Brandon was down to 30%, and then he saw the struggle, and that struggle wasn't doing any damage, so he roosted up.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Liam played well all game until that end game. Like, he just got lucky, really. It was a 50-50 play there.
Yeah. Like, Flamethrower and Executor, Scarf Necrozma. I know Brandon didn't realize that Photon Geyser could be physical until he actually clicked his Draco Meteor. So So that was kind of a misplay on Brandon's part, but like I don't know. I think though, like I think Liam brought a cool team to to battle Brandon. He had ways to break through his regen core.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think overall, like I don't see what Liam could have done better other than the whole struggle thing.
Yeah.
Where do you guys rank him? We'll start with Brandon.
I have him as 11.
Yeah, Brandon is 11. So I'll put the numbers here just so I know.
Yeah. I personally have Brandon at 10.
Oh my gosh, can I type? So sorry, what did you have him at, Sean?
I'm at 11.
11? And you had him at 10, right, Alex?
Yep.
I think I had him I put him at 12.
Oh.
It's just because, in my opinion, it just showed that after last season where, like, the stress got to me and, like, I just couldn't team build, like, I just couldn't focus. At this point in the season, Brandon's hitting that slope where, like, no matter what he's doing, it's just not working out for him. And if he needs to switch it next week, he needs to take a break and he needs to figure out what's going on. And we know that now that we know what's happened the next 2 weeks, it's looking better for Brandon, and it's looking like he might be out of the slump. But at this point in time, like, he's in that downward slump.
Yeah. I put him at 10 because he's got the potential to battle better, and I mean we know the results of the next 2 weeks, and he does battle better.
Yeah.
And because I personally don't think that the people I put below him have a chance of beating Brandon when Brandon's in his own.
I see. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, I know he's a good battler, but I think this week especially versus Liam, like, I think he definitely should take this. And this week, I just don't think he played up to how he usually plays, and that's why he lost, because, like, he basically sacked half his team.
Yeah, I just think he probably could have clean sweeped with just the Bravebird Crobat the entire game.
Yeah. And where do you guys put Liam? I have Liam as 4.
4?
Yeah.
You put him that high.
Wow, I have him as 9.
At this point, he's 4-1 with a 3-game win streak. So I mean,
I guess it's true. I
good
put
on him.
Number 8 just because he did misplay at the very end.
8.
Yeah, and just like because I'm kind of new-ish to the power ranking, the week before he only beat Turner by 2.
Oh, okay.
He beat Jordan by only 1, and they kind of had a throwaway game. He lost to you, and then his first week he only beat Zach 2-0. So like, his wins against lower tier players aren't as impressive as other people's wins against. Like, Mike has 5-6-0 wins. I have 5-6-0. Like, everyone else has huge wins against these people, and he's barely beating them.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, he has the winning record, but not the winning.
No, he doesn't have a very good.
The winning plus minus, yeah.
Yeah, and to add on to that, yeah, like he has those wins, but
if I remember against Zach's game, I'm pretty sure Zach could have beat him if he didn't play something differently, or is that against someone else?
Yeah.
I don't know if it was that week.
His week 4 was against Turner.
I just remember Zach played someone, and I'm pretty sure Zach had the opportunity to win if Zach did like 2 things better.
Yeah,
but I'm not sure if that was Liam or some other coach. But yeah, I see what you mean. And where'd you put him, Sean?
I have him as 9th because again, like he's doing well, but most of his games he's barely scraped by. He's made a lot of questionable plays like that. Ninetales, he brought it, I think, almost every single game, and most of the time when he uses it, he spams Dark Pulse, which is almost never the play.
Oh, I see what you mean.
He has hail up. He could just blizzard almost anything.
Yeah, so like I think a lot of his wins are just because the people he's played are below him in skill, so he's barely scraped by on those.
Yeah, just I know talking to Liam too, a lot of the times he brings that Ninetales in case he can get that Aurora Veil up and then use the Aurora Veil to set up the Necrozma.
Yeah, that's kind of the game plan with Ninetales. Like, you're either going offensive or you're going offensive with Aurora Veil.
Yeah, I think personally,
Wait, is Aurora Veil 0.75 damage, or is it half damage?
I think it's just half for both.
It has physical and special, yeah.
Oh, okay. But you need the but you need the hail up.
You need the hail. Which, I mean, it gets anytime it switches in, right? But at the same time, Specs Blizzard is huge.
Yeah. No, I agree. Because I know A Drive uses Alolan Ninetales a lot, and it's just like the same thing. It's usually Aurora Veil, offensive, and then either Alolan Slant Slash or like some other way to set up.
Yeah.
But like he doesn't have the hail abusers, so like he could just go Light Clay and just
get that veil up and just have damage for a while.
But I agree I don't think he's playing Ninetales too bad, other than the fact that he just keeps clicking Dark Pulse. That's iffy.
Yeah, come on, pick a stab move.
Like Blizzard is so good and it doesn't miss. It doesn't miss in the hail.
Yeah. And I mean, there's not that much that resists ice other than like steel and
fire, maybe rock fighting
and water.
So like just like 5 types.
But I mean, with the meta that we have in our league, he hits Blizzard and he's hitting almost anything for at minimum 50%.
Yeah, he has Freeze Dry too, so he can ignore water types.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to move to the game 2 that we're gonna look at?
Yeah, sure.
So I got game 2 is Steven versus Dan. Not Dan. Zach.
I was going to say Zach.
Josh? Wait.
Zach. No, it's Zach.
Zach battled Steven.
Oh, never mind. Yeah. I was
I'm an idiot.
Zach versus Steven, yeah.
Okay.
Huge notes on this one, so I'm going to just start here. Steven got the 6-0. He used his Regenerator Core, and Zach couldn't break it at all. Like, he struggled the entire
Regen Core, it was a tan growth.
It was
But, like, Zach couldn't break it. He had no wall breakers. He struggled doing any damage whatsoever, and he had a lot of random switches trying to break those walls, and he couldn't do anything with them.
Yeah.
He also, like, Steven's answer to everything was literally Tangrowth. He swapped in something to go Tangrowth, and Zach never responded to that. Tangrowth,
Like, I'm watching it now, like, he E-speeded an Aggron.
Yeah.
Like...
Yeah. Like what?
This game is showing Zach's, lack of knowledge, I guess to say. Like, he's definitely not someone who, even when I told him if he wanted to join, he was like, I don't know anything past Gen 3.
Well, that was like me when I originally joined too, right? Like,
so, like...
I did bad in Season 1.
Yeah, maybe it'll take some time.
Randoms, and it got better.
Yeah. Maybe it'll take some time for him to learn, but at this point in time, I know Zach well enough to know that he's just busy, and he's not caring about the league.
No.
Like, he even told me straight up when him and Dan made that misplay, week like 2 or whatever. He was like, it wasn't an issue because neither of us care about the league that much. So like, you should have just let us just ignored our fault. That was pretty much what he was saying.
Well, and like another thing too, not that we're talking about week 6 right now, but he brought the speed boost.
He brought the wrong set, yeah.
Realizing it.
So like,
now I didn't mind. I technically did prep for it because I'm pretty sure I've seen him use that before.
No, he didn't.
Or I just looked at Blaziken and saw that it had that ability, so I kind of prepped for it.
I mean, like, Vaporeon just walls for days anyways. Like,
yeah, like, I wasn't worried about it. My Vaporeon could just and hit Scalps all day.
I remember I had a morning shift that day, and then Brandon messages me like, Matt, Zach's using the wrong set. He's using Speed Boost Blaziken. I'm like, oh, come on. But
and Brendan's like, you guys really need to restart. I was like, you know what? Honestly, this thing's not even a problem for my team. Like, Vaporeon walls it for days. So. And
the last thing about Zach was here. He had the ending play. Mega Alakazam could have killed the Blacephalon, but he went into Rose Raid to allow Blacephalon the speed boost.
Yeah. And I mean, that's just not knowing. Like, I probably wouldn't realize at first that Blacephalon even gets speed boost. I don't know if he saw that it had speed boost already. No, the speed boost was the flare charge. Flame charge.
Oh yeah.
Was it? Yeah.
And he showed it. He already revealed it in the game. So Zach knew he had flame charge.
Steven brought that earlier in the season 2.
Yeah.
He's tried it.
He's already tried it before.
Yeah. That makes
So
sense.
even in this game, like that wasn't his first time clicking speed boot, like the flame charge or whatever. I don't know. I just don't think Zach knows the what's good and competitive enough.
Yeah.
And I think Zach too could benefit a bit off of maybe some team build help if somebody had time to help him, or even just
Like
using
his
the
one win.
box.
Like I helped him with his team build, and that was the one where he had that iffy Dragonite versus Mudsdale thing, stuff like that. Didn't mega his Alakazam, but I mean he got the win. Like he pulled it off.
Mm-hmm. And then like with the Tangrowth, Zach never really responded to the Tangrowth.
No.
Like even series of plays, if you look at the game, he led Tangrowth, he went Aggron, went back to Tangrowth, went back to Aggron, went back to Tangrowth, went Blacephalon, Tangrowth, Blacephalon, Tangrowth, Blacephalon. That's how the game played out. It just he went something, went Tangrowth, and he went Tangrowth like 6 times, and Zach never responded to that. Never tried to predict. Never that. He just let the Tangrowth came in and it just walled him every time.
What did Zach have for the Tangrowth? Like, what did he have that could realistically...
On this team, Rose Raid with Sledge Bomb or a Flyinium Z Dragonite?
I think that Tangrowth was AV, so I don't even think it really touched it that well, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure it was AV from what I checked in the calcs, so I honestly don't think Zach had anything to touch.
Also, Zach keeps bringing Sucker Punch Rotom, and I'll keep saying for him to stop bringing it until he stops bringing it.
Yeah.
Hey, he brought it against me too the week after, so keep going.
Yeah.
And from my knowledge, he preps every Mon for all 12 or all 11. He doesn't build a team, he builds a Mon for the other guy's team. Which, it can't work. Like, there's a reason Pokemon are in Tier 5, and it's because they can only do one thing.
Yeah. Yeah, he doesn't have a team that's diverse enough to be able to support hitting anything more than maybe 3 Mons at a time.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, he lost his game at team preview, pretty much. Unless that was Flyinium Z Dragonite.
Yeah, and I doubt it, just based off what he's brought in previous weeks.
Even then, like, Z-Fly probably wouldn't even do 50% Tangrowth.
Mm-hmm. After some D-dances, maybe, but...
Yeah, but
that's another thing I want to say, like...
Special. He's been bringing, like, Surf Flamethrower.
Yeah. Zach's the guy that would love setup, but he's not setting up.
No.
Like, this is the guy that, like, loves being really powerful and just wrecking stuff. And he, like, Dragonite's, like, the perfect mon to do that. Like, weakness policy, D-dance, stuff like that. And it's just...
the ability, too, right?
Multi-scale, yeah.
As much damage on the first hit. Like, that's
and it just seems like that he's just not setting up. Maybe I'll tell him that for next game. Just run setup. All 6 mons in your team, setup.
Well, and the big thing too with that is like, yes, he can set up, but if he's bringing, say, Flamethrower and he's Dragon Dancing, it still won't work. But if he's got like Dragon Dance, Flyinium Z, Dragonite, that's killing something.
Yeah.
Guaranteed, that's killing something. Like, unless you got a Rock Steel type right in front of it with 235 defense, Steelix.
Yeah.
You're gonna kill something.
That's a Steel Ground, by the way, but yeah. Is there anything you want to say about Steven? It's kind of hard because like in this kind of game.
That's all my notes were was he had Tangrowth and he literally just won because Tangrowth, like, Zach couldn't touch it.
See, these are the hard games to judge for the opposing team, just because they don't reveal much. Like
my note for Steven here is just strong Regenerator core, which Zach couldn't touch, and he didn't have much of a challenge this week.
Yeah.
That's like it. That's all I have written down for Steven. Like that's how the battle went. Really.
Yeah. Honestly, Steven just didn't have to fuck up with Tangrowth, and
yeah, that was it.
Like 100%, this was his game.
Yeah. Going into rankings, I've got Zach at 15.
Oh, okay. I have Zach at 15 too, I believe.
Yeah. I also have him at 15.
All right.
Did I screw that up? Zach is 1-4 at this point with a -3 win record. As in, he's lost the past 3 games.
Mm-hmm.
And where do you guys have Steven?
I have Steven at 2 for this week.
2, okay.
I have him at 4.
I have him at 7.
Oh.
Oh boy.
And the reason was just because this was a game where wait, what is he, 3-2 at this moment? So at this point he's
Steven barely lost.
Yeah.
The game.
So at this point his 3 wins are all in division, and he hasn't been able to win outside of his division. And going into this, we kind of knew that his division was like stacked with like the new players. So like a veteran guy like Steven with a bunch of new players, it was kind of like, I don't know, it was just kind of unfair for the new players. But
Yeah, I guess
he like
back to,
yeah. So like I'm waiting for Steven to win outside of his division.
well, Steven's lost or beat. Yeah, no, Steven lost to Brandon.
Lost to Brandon
me,
and lost to you.
beat Dan, beat Josh, and beat whoever he played this week.
Zach. So yeah, like, and the other people on my list,
Oh wow.
like everyone above him has a better record than him, and has been showing like has been playing people has been getting wins outside of the division and inside of the division.
Yeah, and I guess spoilers. He plays me next weekend.
And he keeps up this this trend of not winning outside of his division. But yeah, that's why I put him low. It was a combination of other people, and he hasn't been able to win outside of his division. And with his division being all new players, you feel like a veteran player would be higher than 3-2.
Yeah, especially since, I mean, personally going back to previous seasons, this was the first season I ever beat Steven. Like, he's a good player. Normally,
Yeah.
But he's just not performing, I guess. So, I mean, I got him at 2, but I didn't really look back at his previous battles, so that was kind of my mistake, because I'd probably put him lower.
Well, yeah, like you're just starting this week because we had 2 dropouts, so like there's gonna be like a learning, not a learning curve, but like a curve,
Again, like,
a curve with your power
where
ranking.
people are, and then moving them from there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like, I put him at 2 just on the fact that, like, he had his regenerator core, and he used it to how a regenerator core is supposed to be used, and he got a 6-0.
I love how you keep saying regen core
Yeah, there's
when he only had one guy.
It's core enough. It worked.
Yeah. It was enough of a core. Who knows?
It's enough of
Yeah.
a core for Steven this week.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to hop into the third game. Laptop is being funny. Give me a second. Yeah, it looks like it's still working. The third game I have is Dan versus Josh.
Dan and Josh. Stuff.
This is a division matchup. What are they? The Sinnoh division? No, the Cynthia division, right?
Oh, they're in the other division? Oh, never mind.
The Sinnoh Conference Cynthia division. And they're both at kind of low records at this moment. So this is like a lower standing match. What did you guys think about it?
I think that Josh actually did sort of well off the start. Like he misplayed hard turn 1. He volt switched against the
Against a water ground type.
against the size of a toad. That was bad. But then like I'm just going through the game here. I'm not really going off my notes. But then he gets Alexx which okay. But here's the thing. He gets Greninja's battle bond off. And yeah, he gets it off. And basically now when you look at the team, battle bond Greninja, it kills everything almost. I mean, he's probably scarfed Darmanitan.
No, it was Z.
Okay, yeah, so he kills Darmanitan. I'm pretty sure he kills Hoopa. Mimikyu needs to bust a disguise, and it was actually scarfed this game again.
Well, it was nice. I liked his play with the water shuriken against the Mimikyu because it not only breaks the disguise, but it also hits the damage.
I think that was a big misplay. I think he should have swapped out because like the thing with Josh is that he has a really powerful team and a really solid backbone in just Celestial alone, and he always lets because a lot of his more really offensive stuff is more frail. He always lets his offensive thing die, and then he goes out into Celesteela. So like Dan has this trash special Scarf Mimikyu he keeps bringing, and it was an easy switch into Celesteela, and Josh just lets the Greninja go down that like kills half the team still, and then he goes out into Celesteela, and it's things like that where Josh is not getting kills because he might get one kill, but then the answer comes out that
And he
needs
doesn't
to
deal
weaken
with
a
it.
bit, and then he just lets his thing die, and then
Yeah.
he goes up to his answer.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
So yeah. So,
Another thing I didn't like, speaking of the Celesteela, when the Celesteela came out, it was up against a Seismitoad that didn't switch out, and the Seismitoad was trying to use Earthquake against it. And then Josh used Leech Seed instead of Giga Drain, which I know the Celesteela had.
Well, I mean, at that point, you're expecting it to switch out. You know what I mean? Like, if you're a Seismitoad, you're scouting for that Giga Drain. Because I'd much rather much rather the Leech Seed on Darm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
At least, because then, yeah, like, pretty much with Celesteela, you usually have Protect Leech Seed, because you always get that damage off, you always get that recovery, which is big on Celesteela.
Yeah. One thing I did like with the Celesteela is when he used it to battle the Hoopa, he got the Leech Seed and Toxic damage on the Hoopa, so, like, that Celesteela was tanking it for days.
But the big problem was, too, like, he sort of misused the Celesteela a tiny bit near the end, because the Magneton and the Darmanitan went down. Basically, nothing's beating the Celesteela, but the Hoopa got this special defense drop, and then after it got that, Josh still kept him for a long time when he just could have...
Yeah, just sack something and come back in.
Run it back in, and then it just walls everything again for the rest of the match.
No, I agree.
Yes.
And that's like going on against Dan, like some misplays on his part is, we know you're not scarfed, and he stayed in against the arrow.
Yeah.
And just once Darm fell, like Darm did a lot of damage. He already took out the Greninja, so the only thing checking it really was the Alakazam. Like offensively, stuff checked it, but the Mudsdale was at a really low health. I mean, it was a really low health. It wasn't checking it anymore. No. But you needed it for Celesteela.
I'm just looking at Dan's stuff too, like,
because like
on the game, he made a lot of like actually decent switches and predictions. Like he predicted a decent amount in the beginning, and then once that Celesteela got a couple kills after the
but the roots come there. Like if you have a Darm on your team at a good amount of health without rocks in your side of the field, Celesteela is a liability for your opponent. Yeah. And he lost the Darm, and once that fell, he I don't know, like he couldn't freely get some Flare Blitz.
He just kind of fell apart in the battle.
Yeah. And Dan told me about this game. He was like, he was so mad because he felt like he screwed up something. He didn't tell me what he screwed up, but his words were like, I screwed up, and I'm not as close in the playoff race as I should be. Because he's fighting for a playoff spot at this point, and it was just like, it was at that moment he was just like, yeah, like this is a win I needed, and I'm assuming the screw up was sacking the Darm to an arrow.
Yeah, probably.
I don't see any other any other way. Because theoretically, like the Scarf, like the Seismitoad did well against the Manectric. The Scarf Mimikyu probably took out the arrow. Mudsdale died to rocks, I believe. Kyurem put in some work, probably lived a hit from Alakazam. Also, going Kyurem on the Stone Edge, like you have a Scarf Mimikyu. You get the freest Shadow Ball of your life.
He kind of wasted his Kyurem there.
Yeah.
It's too bad because Kyurem puts in a lot of work.
Yeah.
A lot of times. So.
And also, like Dan kept pressing moves that, like, they didn't do much. Like he's pressing Earth Power against the Celesteela. He had that Scarf Hoopa, and he pressed Psychic on it versus Celesteela when like Shadow Ball did way more to everything.
Yeah, a stab move would have done a lot better there.
Well, it's like stab, but it was resisted.
Yeah, a better stab move.
But yeah, and it's just like Dan kept pressing weird moves and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And like he goes hard on Greninja with Magneton when it was probably Scarf as well, knowing Dan, and so that should have been like an answer afterwards. Not because it almost died. Like it should have lived on 99 after. Right?
Yeah. Well, he had the Seismitoad. Like Seismitoad was good for Greninja. I don't know. Because me and Brandon were actually talking about this. He said there's a guy from Windsor that knows Dan, and he mentioned that Dan was a really good chess player, and being his housemate, I know like he's a very skilled chess player. But Brandon brought up the point that in chess everything's one dimensional. Like this piece will always do this thing, right?
Yeah, he knows.
So
He knows what his opponent's doing, and I just think in
Yeah.
Pokemon he just doesn't know what his opponent's doing. So
no,
he can't play.
to a degree,
Like,
but it's the Mons. I think it's
A
more the
lot of-
Mons.
A
So
lot of it too is Dan just trying to get predictions, and then like against an opponent like Josh doesn't switch enough for him to be able to get those predictions.
I can see that.
I
Yeah.
also see where Matt's going with, like, he's always bringing Scarf Mimikyu, and I think it's like, I have this Scarf Mimikyu and I'll just bring it every game.
Mhm.
When it's like that, honestly, I don't think Mimikyu should ever be Scarf.
Or
Because it has-
or
it
like
has
his
a
opponent
different-
too. Like if he sees something, like say Minetric, and he's like, "Oh, my answer's Seismitoad." Every time he goes Minetric, I go Seismitoad. It's gonna come to a point where Seismitoad will die to Minetric, and then you can live a hit but not two, but he'll switch it in, take the damage, not live the second hit, and then now he loses.
Yeah.
Where like at some points you've got to switch into your checks, at some points you've got to bait him and not, at some points you've just got to sack stuff. You just got to admit like this is gonna die.
Too, just to like bait, I'll send something out after a death, bait a move, and then switch into my actual answer afterwards.
Yeah. Like I played Mike this week, and like at one point in the match, I was like, he had a fire type against my grass type, and I'm like, okay, like I'm 100%, I'm 95% sure he's volt switching here, because his fire beats my grass, and I'm like, as much as I need this shaman, if I switch and he volt switches, it's a lot worse for me moving forward. So I'm like,
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just gonna risk this, and he volt switched, and I'm like, okay, because I knew he knew I needed to switch.
Well, and that's like Brandon too. Brandon utilizes a lot of U-turn and volt switch, so you can kind of bait it out of him.
Mm-hmm.
Which is how I beat him every season.
I don't want to touch on Brandon, but like it annoys me watching Brandon sometimes, because more often than not he has a kill in front of him and he'll just go for a U-turn, and I find that a lot of times he won't get kills and he won't win because he refuses to kill the thing in front of him.
Oh, hold on. If I just quickly look at my week 6 stuff too, what I have down for Brandon. Oh no, it wasn't this week. It was against Liam then that he was using U-turn for scouting, but he had Brave Bird that killed almost anything in front of him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we talked about that.
We just talked about that, yeah.
But yeah, is there anything else in the match that you guys want to go over?
No, that.
Or should we get to like where we rank them?
Yeah.
Well, also one last thing is, Dan had 5 special attackers on that team, and
Yeah.
it's just it comes to a point where it's like if someone has a good special wall, like Celestial walls, the majority of those mons like bar,
Darn. And
well, in terms
Magneton.
of physical attacker, but yeah, Magneton is the only special attacker that really touched it, and so like it
And
just
Fusion
feels
Bolt
like
Cure
all
could have
the
put in work, I
special
think,
attackers.
but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
But
I
it's
have,
like
yeah. I
we
have
just
one
had all
more
the
thing.
special attackers, and it came to a point where it's like you need different things to make this work.
Here's
yeah.
my thing with this week. We have to keep in mind too, Josh just got married, and that was the week before his wedding, and he ended up having 3 battles in that same week.
Yeah.
So the fact that he still pulled off a win there, I thought was actually pretty.
Yeah. And it's nice to see him get his first win too. I think that was cool.
Good. Yeah, especially with the timing of it, right? But
Yeah. That being said, he doesn't really do that well the next 2 matches, but
But I mean, yeah, like.
It's to be
given the
expected, yeah.
circumstance, I thought he battled well, and I thought he team prepped okay, especially
Yeah.
considering the week he had that
Yeah.
week. So
the only thing I would comment is maybe HP Grass had Mega Manetric, because
Yeah.
Dan doesn't really have anything that an HP Ice is going to want to hit. But that being said, he's probably using like standard stuff, like, oh, Manetric on Smoke On says Thunderbolt, Overheat. You know what I mean?
I don't know about that because he's had really questionable moves on that Celestial, so I don't know if he just grabbed stuff off the Smogon.
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not sure either. But yeah, I agree with Manectric, especially since a lot of people switches to any electric type is something with ground, especially a water ground type.
Yeah.
A hidden power grass would have done really well that match.
But normally HP Ice is run because a lot of ground types in the meta are also weak to, like 4 times weak to Ice.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
And some of them are Dragon and they resist Grass.
but it's all about who you're playing too, right?
Yeah.
Like Dan's ground type is a water ground type.
Yeah. And that's why like you gotta tweak your team for who you're playing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we can just hop into what we're expecting, where we rank these guys.
Yeah, sure.
I ranked them side by side. I have Josh 13, Dan 14.
Yeah, me
I
too.
have Josh 12, Dan 13.
Josh is 1-4 at this point with a +1 record, and then I have Dan 1-4 with a -2 record at the moment, -2 win or loss streak. And
Yeah.
what did you Sean? You had him
13 and 14 like you did.
okay, and then you had him 12 and 13, right?
I had him 12, 13, yeah.
And it was always Josh over Dan. I'm assuming because
Yep,
Josh won.
over
Yeah.
Dan. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, my biggest thing with ranking was if the person beat the other person, they ranked automatically higher, so.
That makes sense too. Like if you're not doing that, it's kind of like favoritism. It's like, yeah, this guy beat you, but I put you higher because I know you, and I mean that's kind of a dumb way to do it. But
I sort of know Josh a bit from soccer and other stuff that I get involved with Mark, but I mean, he won the match, and with his week, I thought he deserved a higher spot than Dan. So
yeah, no, I agree. Where's Dan? I'm just doing
I just realized in my power ranking I put Squaws down as Matt S, and it doesn't really make a difference to put the S spot.
Oh my gosh.
Other than the fact that you're like 9 ranks apart.
Yeah. Oh, that's good on my end, I guess.
Hey, that doesn't tell anyone anything.
I'm hoping since I'm at 5-0 at this point that it does.
Well, we'll get there. Spoiler.
Yeah.
alert.
Spoiler alerts, I'm 12th. Or I'm 11. No, what do you?
Yeah,
I'm
spoiler
11th.
Spoiler alert, Matt's actually last place for me. Or who haven't we done? We haven't done 14th.
Yeah.
For me, at least.
To be fair, the first 2 weeks I put you pretty low, Alex. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if you put me low.
Yeah, but I didn't rank Steven based off that, so I mean.
Yeah. True, I guess.
I should have. Jeez.
Next, okay. Now I'm done all the where they changed in the ranking from last week. Next game I have is Phil's Ass versus Alexx. BC Blissies versus the Phil's Tits team.
Oh geez, Turner and Alexx, or Alexx and Mike Turner.
So, where do you guys want to start with this?
Yeah, I'll start with this one.
We start with Mike or Turner?
I'm gonna start with Turner because I mean, there's a lot of stuff to talk about Turner here, and I'm gonna point out early on in the game, Turner had some misplays. There was an Ambipom with fake out, and she took the Minafi to take the hit instead of switching to something that could tank a physical fake out hit. She didn't predict a Swampert against the Entei, and she went with an extreme speed instead of a stab flare blitz. She wasted a hidden power electric against the Swampert. Let's see, she sacked him on to Heliolisk Surf. I'm not even sure she knew that Surf was a thing on Heliolisk, to be quite honest. And another point, there was a spot where Reunicus was fighting the Zygarde. Originally, this wasn't even a good matchup, and she allowed that Zygarde to set up to +2 or whatever. And the Reuniclus had Calm Mind a couple times. And I went through the calcs afterwards. Because she kept the Reuniclus in, they were both doing 40 to 50% against each other. That's whatever Zygarde was hitting with in a +1 Psychic. But then she ended up switching out. So, I mean, she just let Amon set up in front of her, and her only answer after the setup, she switched out, got rid of the stat changes, and then the Zygarde just went through and sweeped.
Yeah, I'll agree to that. Like, the big turning point in this game was definitely she had something that wasn't taking too much damage and was putting out damage itself, and then she goes into what she's thinking is a check, but it's not living 2 hits. And I said this with Dan. Sometimes you just got to sack something, and at this point it was the Reuniclus. Like, she had to sack the Reuniclus.
Well, and I'm not sure too, because like, if Reuniclus had Recover, it might have been okay to set up it more, but then it would have just let the Zygarde set up, but she could have done. I basically just did it She was doing 40 to 50 with her Reuniclus Psychic. Reuniclus, based off the set I plugged in, was only taking 40 to 50 from the Zygarde.
The Reuniclus, it was only doing, it wasn't breaking the sub with 0, so like it was only doing like 40 something after +2.
Yeah, I had between 40 and 50 for the Reuniclus, but at the same time, okay, so she gets 2 of those off depending on the rolls, and then she's got an extreme speed Bandit Entei that could have gotten the kill.
Yeah, or even go into the
Yeah, one
Audino
is dead, the other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because at least at that point, it's looking like Audino will take a hit.
Yeah, so she had a bit of an answer there.
Yeah.
The original matchup was pretty bad, and she let that thing set up, which I thought was bad. But once it,
if she stayed in, she had a way to counter it.
She had no choice. Because basically, I want to talk about it like for like my point of view. Because basically, like when you start off with this match, like I've been saying this for a while, but she desperately needs a change on her team. She needs to drop something and get something fast. Because look at this team. The fastest thing is Manaphy, base 100, and she hasn't been using it that well, so it's not that strong for this matchup. And then there's Entei. Like, the only offensive thing really on her team was Choice Band Entei. And more often than not, she presses E. Yeah, she presses E speed, so it doesn't do that much.
But yeah, I agree. And she didn't bring any of her offensive attackers like Garchomp or Starmie.
Like, to talk about that Zygarde, well, at first, like, she has Entei. She needs to press Sacred Fire with that thing. Like, she has to go for burns, because look at Mike's team. The only thing that doesn't want to take a Sacred Fire is that Keldeo. Because anything else can get burned, probably Helios dies, probably Ambipom dies, and yeah, it's like, it forces stuff, and she keeps pressing E-Speed. And then with that Zygarde, Mike sort of caught her on that, like, the Max Speed F was a good bring this week, but, like, first thing was she calm-minded against that Zygarde turn 1 before knowing it was max special defense and before knowing I think the sub was up and then she calm-minded. And basically, like, she wouldn't have known at that point in time that it was max death, so she should have assumed that she could break the sub. So I think she should have gone for Psychic first to break the sub, but instead she calm-minds up, allowing him a turn to set up. But it technically was the right play because she couldn't break the sub, but she didn't know that. And again, she gets up the Calm Mind, and then after that, it should just been Psychic until she's dead. Basically, don't let that thing sub, don't let it set up, attack it until it's dead.
Because the worst thing there is Crawdaunt comes out on the on that, and at that point, he basically won anyway. Like at this point, he won anyways.
Crawdaunt comes out and he's lost his +2 setup.
But look at his team. Like, look at his team. He's got Turner has a Steelix at 25%. Manaphy was at 10 after Rocks. Entei would just die to a Aqua Jet, I'm pretty sure. So like Mike could have just ended this game a lot faster if once Turner switched out, and she just switches out with Reuniclus, and then pretty much sacks her entire team, yeah. But I'm pretty sure.
You're dead, and she didn't do that.
Yeah.
And she switched out, which is a thing we see week to week again. Is she has the answer in front of her, and then she switches out.
So like she's clicking Psychic. I don't like if Mike goes Crawdaunt when she has 5 Pokemon left. Maybe it was because actually never mind. It was probably because the Audino was still alive. But I'm pretty sure you outspeed an Audino and do a lot with a waterfall.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably would have.
I do see why Mike stayed in and just stacked Zygarde's stats. Like, there's no reason not to stack your stats at this point.
Yeah.
I just want to see Crawdaunt do some work.
I
had it. Last season,
it's scary.
Picked up during the season, it's scary, but I don't think I really utilized it that well, to be quite honest.
Yeah, I don't remember you bringing it much. A play I do want to talk about, though, is so at this point, she brings in Manaphy, which is at 66% because it took the fake out damage, on Swampert. She's leftovers. She's facing a water team, right? You feel like HP Electric is not the right play, especially because he has Manphy gets energy ball. So, you know what I mean? Like, and that's neutral. That's neutral versus Zygarde.
Electric for Pelipper, but Energy Ball should have been a big play.
And yeah.
She presses HP Electric on Swampert.
And then...
Yeah, that's one of those things where I don't think she's thinking about her play or using the calcs or anything.
Yeah.
People to use.
Because...
I think she just went, oh, that thing looks like water, all HP Electric.
Yeah. Because if you think about it, and then she doesn't... Does she hard switch or does she U-turn? She hard switches.
Oh no, yeah, you're right. She does.
And she goes into Rotom, which, and Mike just breaks her ankles here. Predicts it and gets the Ice Punch off. Yeah. I don't know why Rotom wasn't.
Got a bit of a lucky freeze, but I mean, otherwise, yeah, you got that Ice Punch prediction, right?
Because if she went Rotom there first, that's a free Leaf Storm, theoretically.
Theoretically, but again,
Zygarde does switch in, and then Zygarde gets a chance to set up, but at least she has the Audino. The Audino checks it once, for the most part, once that happens.
And again, she ended up sacking the Audino on a switch.
And like I've been talking to her, because she likes helping. She likes to help with her team preps. She's very passionate about trying to build. I think the key is she doesn't like her stuff dying. And because of that, she's putting herself into because she doesn't want her stuff to die, everything's dying. And she's dead set on certain moves, like you said. Because if she switched less and used more of her move options, she should be like 2 and 3 at this point.
Yeah, there's been a couple matches where she's been pretty close, but just 1 or 2 plays has lost her the game.
And it's always that one play that she switched. It's always because she switched out.
Yeah.
It's never because she clicked the wrong move. It's always because she switched into the wrong Pokemon.
Well, the biggest one is her week 1 battle against Javin. She only lost 1-0 because of a slight misplay during the match.
Because she didn't Calm Mind. And she wasn't aware that she could Calm Mind.
Yeah, that was the only misplay that game. That was her best game.
And then she played Liam, and her only misplay in my mind that I can remember was she had Reuniclus that under the Trick Room against the Executor, could have killed it, sacked Manaphy, then sacked Staraptor, and then went E-Speed Entei.
Yeah.
And that's 2 Pokemon that were really important in the match gone when all she had to do was click Psychic. And she outslowed her opponent with Trick Room.
Yeah, I forgot about her week 4 match against Liam. Because she should have won that one. That should have
been a 2-0 for her, I think.
So she should have 2 wins by now, but she just misplayed herself to losses.
And again, it's hard to judge where Mike is in this because this is another game where he used Ambipom a little bit, but he pretty much just used 3 Pokemon.
Well, once we get to the rankings, I'll give my thoughts on Mike a little bit.
Yeah. Does anyone want to talk about Mike more? Because
no, because honestly, that game it just felt like an easy win for him.
Yeah, that game was kind of.
There wasn't really much to talk about on his side.
He played well. He had some decent predictions.
The only thing I want to say is I don't know why he kept Mega Swampert against a Manaphy and Ice Punched it when it could have very well had Energy Ball, which it should.
That was risky, yeah.
Yeah.
Or even Scald. What about a Scald burn?
Yeah.
What about a Tail Glow? What do you have for a Tail Glow when that happens? I mean, I guess she has Heliolisk. So he had Heliolisk left, but if she Z Rain Danced and then Tail Glowed, that Heliolisk better be Scarf.
Yeah, no kidding.
But I do like how she was U-turning when he had Helio. Yeah. You know what I mean? She was aware. I hope she was aware that it had dry skin. And not just her Entei thing where she just keeps clicking E-Speed. Because
I'm not sure. I feel like she probably would have just dry skinned it, to be quite honest. Just because I'm not sure she would have been aware of Heliolisk's ability. That's my only thought with it. So going into rankings, I have Turner at 16.
I'll say this first. To be fair, I didn't really pay attention much to abilities until this season, maybe a bit last season. Because I always thought I knew them all, but there's some that just catch you way off guard.
Well, that was like me and Zach this past week, right? I screwed up and accidentally shot off a Scald against it when it had the trace ability, because I forgot that when it Mega Evolved it had trace.
Oh, yeah. Where do you
So
put her,
water reserve.
Zach? I mean, Sean?
16.
16?
Yeah,
I put her at 16, too.
Like, straight up, she's the only player with no win, so, like,
It's,
yeah, she's playing better, but she always is able to not finish the game for the win. Because she just doesn't recognize her win conditions, and it results in losses every time.
Yeah, I agree. And I just feel like she's switching too much, and that's just...
Yeah.
Like, she just needs to stop switching.
Or clicking odd moves. Like, I am really curious to see how she plays against Jordan. I personally have not helped Jordan at all this week. He's done his own team building, and as far as I know, he's going to battle her by himself because I'm at work. So, like, he has.
Well, I mean, he's done all his battles by himself, right?
Yeah, except for the one I ghosted on him, or two I've ghosted on him. Whatever. He's lost both those anyways.
Oh.
Because like he beat Brandon. I was at soccer, so I mean, I was shocked when I found out he won that one.
Oh yeah, but we already discussed that. Where did you guys have Mike? I have not. I have him at one spot.
You have him at 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
1.
1? That's too high.
I have him at 3.
I'm
At
gonna
3?
be honest. Like this is what I should have done with Steven. I put Mike at 7. And the reason is because other than his win against Mark, he hasn't beat anyone that's higher than top 12.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. I put him at 1 just because he's on a 4-game win streak, and since losing to you week 1, he's just kind of like shot up, and he's doing the same thing that he's done last season. He's got powerful threats and momentum, and he's utilizing his momentum to get his threats in, and he's putting in work, and he's looking like the team. He's looking like a scary team to face. I wouldn't say the team to beat because Mark's definitely pushing in the Mike division, but out of that division, it's looking kind of like Mike might take. Mike could very well take it with the power and momentum he's got.
Yeah, like my only thing with Mike, like I said, I should have done it with Steven. He beat Squaws only 3-0, but Squaws is a lower rank.
Sometimes don't just look at the plus minus, because some games that that I've won were like 5-0s, but that wasn't a 5-0 game. Like it was a really close game, and all of a sudden the one person got their setup, and 30 turns in, that one person got their setup and just swept. You know what I mean?
No, and it's also like my games where I guarantee to win, but to do that, I have to sack like 2 or 3 things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yours look like 6-0s, or yours don't look like 6-0s, but they should be, Sean. Whereas there's some matches that look like 6-0s, but realistically was a 1-0.
Well, that's like Sean's battle against me, right? Like, if I had actually prepped for that Lottie, it wouldn't have been a 5 or 6-0 or whatever Sean had in the end.
Mm-hmm.
I think Sean would have won regardless, but I don't think it would have been a 5-0.
That's why you prep for everything, though.
Yeah, it's just because I didn't prep for one Mon.
You live and learn.
Oh well, next time, Sean.
Can we already talk about?
I'll battle you in a couple weeks.
7. Oh, I screwed up somewhere.
I rebattle you? Yeah, week 9. So yeah, I just put Mike at 7, just based off who he's won against and who he hasn't. And like I said, I should have done the same with Steven, but I didn't really pay attention to it at the time.
Alright, do you want to move on to the next one then? Or?
Yeah, I'm good for that. Next game I've got is Sean and Drew.
Alright, I'll take the wheel on this one because I probably know this better than anyone.
Yeah, I think I barely watched this match. To be quite honest.
Draco over Hydro Pump. Anyone?
Yeah, because basically I was really dumb this game, and my thing was like I'll get webs up when realistically webs didn't matter anyways because I didn't bring like Scarfers plus webbed out speed like Swisswim and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I brought webs, but I was dumb and like my webs didn't matter. So that was bad on me. And then the other thing was that, Drew actually, the way this played out is it played out really well for him because basically he led Hippo on turn 1. I get my webs up, which don't really matter. and then after that he goes into execute drill, and it caught me off guard that he was sand rush and not sand force. I would have thought for sure he was sand force for that attack. He's sand rush, and I'm like, well, damn. Only thing I have now to fight this is, like, I guess Clef could have taken the hit, and it was more offensive Clef. Well, it wasn't offensive like stat wise, but it had offensive moves. But I still don't think I could have killed it. So I'm like, okay, I'll go Halucha, or no, I went Tapu Lele and then Halucha, knowing I could live, and then revenge kill. But after that, basically, that was my check to a Kingdra in the rain. I had nothing else that had sped that, and so basically he gets the Kingdra out, and I'm like, damn, I've pretty much lost this. I mean, he has to hit 5 Hydro Pumps to win, but like I pretty much lost this, and he goes for Draco, and after that, it was like that was his one chance to beat me.
He even said after the match in the group chat that he realized Hydra was the play there.
Yeah, I told him right after. I'm like, if you press Hydra, you probably won. So like, that was just poor planning on my part, really.
Because you couldn't even E-speed until like turn 14.
Yeah, I realized too. That like I'm like, oh, Psychic Terrain's up. I can't even E-speed.
Yeah, what are my notes on this? Sorry, I was just upstairs for a second.
Honestly, no worries. Honestly, like, there's not much to add.
I kind of liked, Sean, your play to use Psychic Terrain to give your Halucha the speed boost.
But that, like, it was sort of gun driven. I don't know if he meant to, but it basically forced my hand on the Halucha early, so I didn't have it on the Kingdra.
Then the other thing I have written down is Drew uses a lot of, I don't know if this is the right way to say it, but like he uses weather on a lot of his mons. Like, I forget what it was. It was either rain and sand, I think.
He brought the rain and sand, but like he has a Polytoad, and he's been bringing Tornadus instead for rain. And I think every single game he's brought it, he's pretty much clicked Rain Dance and then died instantly.
Yeah, my biggest thing with the fact that he brought 2 weather users was the fact that he'd cancel his own rain.
I think at least this game, like this game, he played it well. Like he didn't interrupt his weather.
I thought he played well to have gotten Sean to only a 3-0.
Honestly, like this game comes down to one play, and it was it was the Sean didn't bring Scarfers and Kingdra clicks Hydro Pump. If he hits his Hydro Pumps,
Hydro Pump it won. So
the amount the more Hydro Pumps he hit in a row, the closer Drew came to winning. It sounds stupid, but like if he hit 2 in a row, Sean might have been able to pull it back. But if he hit a third and it's like 3 in a row, I'm pretty sure Sean just didn't have enough firepower left.
Yeah.
Well, basically, if I had Halucha left, if I had Lele left, I won. As long as I had my Lele left, I won that game. So
well, Sean, what's Psychic Terrain do? Does it cancel priority?
It does, yeah.
It cancels priority and gives me 1.5 on Psychic moves.
Yeah, so there was a point I think he tried to use a priority move or something, and he got caught in the Psychic Terrain.
No, I don't think so.
No?
No, it would have been Sean.
Oh, you know what? I wrote doesn't understand Psychic Terrain because he took like huge damage from a Psychic move. I'm pretty sure was it what it was.
No, it was Spec Psychic. It was killing anyone.
Oh, was it?
Honestly, nothing lives Spec Psychic.
And then
Scissor can live barely.
He used a dragon move against your fairy type too. Was the other thing I wrote for Drew.
Yeah, and that's what it comes down to. Like if he clicks, like we said, if he clicks Hydro Pump, this is a completely different game, and it looks like Drew pulls out the win.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I mean, it happens, right?
In rain, Hydro Pump, he won.
Like newer players, it's gonna happen. Like,
yeah. I mean, I'm sure Drew will get it. Like.
Mm-hmm.
Drew's actually got a pretty decent team. He just doesn't quite know how to use it yet.
He's getting a good grasp on it.
Also, the thing is, if I brought a Scarfer as like a secondary check, I would be way different. But just the thing with this game's matchup was that Kingdra, it wrecked my team.
Mm-hmm.
Like even a fully specially defensive Snorlax doesn't live too.
Yeah.
Unless I like have Protect with leftovers and I'm fully specially defensive. So like honestly, I had to play the offensive game here because I couldn't afford to play defense.
Yeah.
Especially against like Kingdra, yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you guys put them in the ranking?
I had me at 2 and Drew at 12.
You're at 2.
Yeah.
And Drew at 12. I put Drew at 11. Just because I really liked the fact that this game being like, because like you're one of like the top battlers in this league, Sean. No question about that. And he put you in a situation where if he realized if he clicked the right move, you basically lost. Yeah.
Yeah. And then like I'll say it too. Like I am at 12. I moved him up over a bunch of other people because like he still has a really bad record. But this game showed that like he is capable of getting those wins, especially against higher like placed people. And then for me, I still had me at 2 because like it's like when you mess up really bad against squads and I still kept you at 1 because like we both of us still pulled out the win, and from here on out it's
yeah.
Like, we know we can still do really well, and
that's why I put you at 3 because like you're still 4-1, 4-game win streak. Like you're still showing your like your prowess, I guess, in this league. It's just it was a game where I couldn't put you higher.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll put I put Drew at 14. Just because I'm coming in fresh to this.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
And just looking back on his previous weeks, like it's just where I had to rank him.
I don't know if you watched our things for 1 and 2, but he was using a non EV/IV thing for weeks 1 and 2.
I remember watching at least 2, and then I remember you mentioning I'd like to see how he does against me, and then I ended up 5-0ing him. So.
And where'd you put Sean?
I put Sean at I put him at 4 for now, just because like Sean, I thought he did okay. He has his big threats, and his team's really hard to deal with, and Drew got him sweating. Like Drew could have won.
Yeah, like I know this week was on me. Like I prepped poorly. Like I should have never had webs because I didn't have anything to really abuse them.
Yeah, and I mean I put Steven. I put Steven at 2. So
what?
I mean, yeah, I put Steven at 2. Sorry, I read the wrong name on here. And I mean, technically he could rank lower, which would sort of move Sean up 1 place, but based on where I ranked everyone, Sean's at 4.
That makes sense, yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I put Sean at 3, is just because the 2 people ahead of him, just because like you got into that one small situation.
Yeah.
Not a small situation, it was like a 50-50, really.
Well, yeah, like if I ranked Steven differently, Sean would have been at 3, so.
Yeah.
No biggie there.
Yeah. And then, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Do you want to jump to the next game?
Yeah.
Who is the next game? I think it's my game. It is my game. Let's go.
Hey.
You guys can start. If you guys want to, or do you want me to start? And my thoughts.
I got notes.
Yeah, I actually have a lot.
So I guess I'll start with Jordan's point of view. I think he played the beginning well.
I was sweating. Yeah, that for Alligator was putting in some work.
Yeah,
it was
off the start. He played well, but then because of a little RNG here and there, it sort of drained him down. And then after that, I don't think he got it. Like the double protect on Licky Licky meant that Lucario could kill with E-Speed instead of like for Alligator getting another kill. The Shaman crit the Seed Flare on the Dusclops, which the Dusclops lived, and then I know he had Destiny Bond after, so I don't know if he would have, but I'm guessing he would have pressed Seed Flare again to kill, and then Dusclops would have got killed it back with Destiny Bond, and because of with all that RNG happening, you won 3-0, but that could have easily turned into a 1-0 if the RNG had not been that way, and then possibly he could have also turned it around.
Yeah, like early on, if I didn't get the double protect, I might have had to have Shaman take a lot of damage, and then that would have been obviously bad on my end, and who knows what would the game would have looked like.
Yeah, and then sort of for you, I don't have too many notes, but opposite to Jordan, it was like you were getting beat down with for Alligator off the start, but then eventually you just turned it around fully and won.
Mm-hmm. I knew for Alligator was going to be the harder one to deal with of the two, just because it had good ice coverage. So once I was able to, and I could have dragon tailed, but I just thought like long game. If I could just get the toxic off, then this Feraligatr became a lot easier to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, I didn't know Lucario did so little with its E-speed. So so I might have dragon tailed knowing that I would have had to risk a double protect, but I didn't clue that in, I guess.
Yeah, I'm going to go a little later battle with Jordan for my points because Sean's mostly covered the beginning stuff.
Yeah.
Jordan used Hex against Incineroar. Didn't do any damage. I don't know.
He couldn't touch it anyways.
But like he didn't like Hex didn't really. Did he have anything on my team that was statused?
No.
Was there a play to?
Yeah, the turn after he Will-O-Wisp your Shaman. Like after knowing it was a Shaman, so I don't know. He should have done something differently there. I thought. I don't know if Dusclops really had much to deal with Shaman, but I didn't think Will-O-Wisp was really the play there.
I think he was just buying time because the next turn he would Destiny Bond to kill it. So
I mean, he got killed by the crit against the Dusclops, and I'm pretty sure that mattered. Another big play I thought was kind of bad by Jordan was at turn 20 when the battle was nearly over, he used rocks. He used Stealth Rocks on Mega Steelix.
That if he was going for a Victini win, I can see why, because Incineroar being its check, right?
Yeah.
That 25% could have mattered. But I don't know, what's my Incineroar? My
My
Incineroar was at 94, so that there was no way it was doing that much, you know?
No, with what was in front of him, like, I thought he should have clicked Heavy Slam over trying to set up rocks, because he basically wasted his Steelix in the end.
And also that Victini, it could touch the Nidoqueen, but what it had Trick Room, Bolt Strike, V-Create, and U-Turn, I think.
I think so, yeah.
So it's like it couldn't touch the Nidoqueen. So in the end, like he went for the Z Bolt Strike, and he went hard Nidoqueen. And basically, it was like the only thing he could do was V-Create it, but then that made him slow enough for something to come and kill it.
Yeah, I do see the gamble, like trying to get the damage off on Incineroar, which explains why he got the rocks out and all that. But
yeah, like the V-Create, the only thing, like V-Create was doing a shit ton to a lot of things. I don't know if it necessarily killed the Nidoqueen at that point.
Not gonna lie, that's part of the reason Incineroar's on my team now, was because I saw Victini was too big of a threat against my team.
Yeah, like I'm not sure. Like he could have V-created there over the Z Gigavolt Havoc, but I'm not sure if he was trying to predict your Incineroar instead of the Nidoqueen, because the V-create would have done a crap ton to your Nidoqueen.
Yeah, but it was already so low. I just sacked it. That was the plan. I'm like, I was just gonna sack it to the flare, the V-create.
V-created. He would have killed the Nidoqueen. He could have sacked the Azumarill and then gone straight back into the Victini and then Z Gigavolt Havoc on the Incineroar. I don't know if he would have killed it because I didn't check that far.
Well, like, the Bolt Strike did 18%, so we'll probably say it would have done 27, and if it's a Z move, it's probably doing in the 50 range. Yeah. I was at 56 at that point. I could see it being a close call.
Yeah, the other thing too, he ended up sacking his Azumarill, which was kind of his only answer to the Incineroar in the end.
But at that late of the game, it was just kind of like, I think he kind of realized.
Yeah, like he had lost the battle at that point anyways, but he could have taken one or two more mods with him.
Yeah.
I thought, if he had.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. I agree. Like I'm pretty sure it Aqua Jet on Ozzy, right?
Probably, yeah. I'm not sure if he did because he was banded.
Knockoff, player off, liquidation.
Yeah, I don't think he did because he was banded. I don't think.
I feel like he did, but I'm not sure because I think I built that as zero, but I can't remember.
Because then I feel like the Aqua Jet on the Nidoqueen was the play.
Yeah.
But I just stayed in because I'm like, you know what? Like I don't want Shaman taking extra damage, so I'm just gonna.
See, I'm thinking he didn't have the Aqua Jet just because he didn't use it that turn. Like, you didn't really have anything that could have taken the Aqua Jet that well, and other than
I had Shaman. Yeah.
You had Shaman left. So like, yeah, the Aqua Jet wouldn't have done anything to Shaman, but if he had it, then it would have.
And at that point in the game, like Victini would have died to rocks. Yeah. pretty much would have pretty much died to rocks. So
Yeah.
I would have went Shaman on the Azu. Then I would have gotten a free Giga Drain, which would have been 4% to kill the Shaman or kill the Victini.
Yep.
Do a lot to the Steelix, or kill the Azu.
Yeah. Like, I don't think at this point it really mattered too much because Jordan
No,
had
yeah.
basically lost by turn 20, but at the same, because like he just got RNG'd into like 3 big crits plus a double protect.
I'll say
just the one crit that.
no. There's 2.
There was 2 that
Was there
mattered.
2?
No, it didn't matter, and I'll explain why. Because
Okay.
what happens here is the crit kills, but trick ends. Okay, so one.
No, that crit mattered because the dust cops lived, and then.
No, not that one.
No,
I crit the
no,
Shame. I crit the
other one.
Sylveon.
The other one.
So at that point, I was clicking Earth Power again, and it would have just been 1 extra turn. Because with Trick Room ending, I outsped the Sylveon, and I killed it with the second Earth Power. So that crit mattered, did not matter. The double protect mattered a lot. It meant that I had one more thing alive, and the crit on Dusclops, if it had the Destiny Bond, that did matter. Because removing Shaman would have been a big thing.
Oh, huge, yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you didn't
It would have put
Shaman,
Azu in a good position.
That would have set up Azu for.
That being said, if he didn't have Aqua Jet, Nido Queen outsped it.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure based off like how he played that battle. I don't remember his team 100%, but I don't think it had Aqua Jet.
Yeah.
He
So
probably
it
would've-
wouldn't have mattered
he
in the
probably
end, because
would've
I'm pretty
played
sure I had T-Bolt in mine.
Yeah.
I feel like I had to have had T-Bolt, you know what I mean? Or I at least had Sludge Wave, so. And Earth Power did enough that Extreme Speed could have killed it. So I probably would have Earth Powered on the Switch.
On Matt Scott a little bit here. You did really well, I thought, utilizing your Intimidate on his physical attackers. That is one spot where I thought you did really well, was anytime you put a physical attacker out, you had some
Well,
Intimidate.
really, it was just the Victini.
Was it just Victini that was a
I'm
physical?
pretty sure
I
it was
thought there was
just-
more.
Well, I think you only brought the Incineroar in on Victini.
And a bit on... Yeah, I think it was just Victini. I might have thrown it in once on something, like Steelix or Feraligatr by accident.
Yeah, maybe. It might have been the Feraligatr, I think.
I don't think
maybe
so.
not. I don't know.
It might have just been like near the end when it just had to come out to do something, but I know like during the middle of the game it was only the Victini. And
Yeah.
then Jordan, you turned on it.
Yeah.
Alright, do you want to rank?
Yeah, we can go with
Yeah,
that.
sure.
I put myself at the 2 spot, and I put Jordan
Damn
at the
it,
9
Scotty.
spot. What?
Not giving yourself number 1.
No, I did. The last time I gave myself number 1 was when I beat Brandon, and then I almost threw the game against Squaws the next week. So I'm not risking any of that.
You're not doing it again, eh?
Yeah.
All right. You put Jordan at 9. I also put Jordan at 9.
I have Jordan at 10.
Okay, and then I put Matt at number 1. Matt did well in his game. I don't think Jordan would have won, regardless of what RNG might have happened. And really, we have to look at the fact that Matt's currently undefeated, and he's played some big players during the season so far.
And I have Matt as 1 too.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, Matt.
I wonder how long this undefeated streak's gonna go.
We'll see. Well,
Yeah.
you don't battle me, so that helps.
Yeah.
Like, who do you have left?
I have 5 games.
You beat Mike.
Drew.
You have Steve,
I played
and,
Drew, Liam, Jordan, Brandon, Mark. So I played my division one more time. So yeah, Brandon, Liam,
Yeah.
Jordan, and then I
So-
played Drew and I played Mark.
So you've got a challenge
yeah, Mark.
with Prime Brandon and moving up the rankings, Mark. So, I mean,
And Liam's. Don't forget, Liam's like 4 or 5-1.
yeah. Liam's
At
the
this
Giant
point, he's
Slayer.
4-1. And
Liam's the Giant Slayer.
yeah. So like, if we're going by standard wise, like there's, I'm pretty sure I'll look, but there's like 2 or 3. I'm pretty sure 3 of them are. Well, Brandon's having like He's having a bit of a comeback season week right now.
Yeah, and his other league's pretty much over.
Yeah,
so
now it's
by
over.
the time you battle him, you're gonna be facing Brian.
Because yeah, Brandon's 3-4, but I mean, me and Brandon have really good matches. Liam's 5-2, and Mark is 5-2 also. So like, there's three people that are like, two of them are high in the standings, and then the one is I know Brandon and I always have good matches, so it's gonna be close. I think I can pull out 1 or 2 wins. I don't think I can pull out all 3.
Yeah, all 3 would be difficult, but I mean, if you get all 3, then I mean, you deserve to be first place at the end of the season. So
if I go undefeated and I lose first week of playoffs, like and especially if it's to RNG, like if I get crit at a playoffs after going undefeated, I don't know if I'm going to be able to come back to this league.
Well, here's the thing, Matt. You don't fight Sean or I
until the finals.
Yeah, exactly. Like, your 2 biggest challenges season to season, you don't even get to face in regular season.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah. Other than like Brandon and Mark are still tough battles, but like.
No, but I agree. Like when I play Brandon and Mark, I have a better mindset going in because like you two have more. It's harder to. I'd say it's harder to team build because I'm less certain of what you guys are gonna do.
I know. At least when I fight Brandon, I have a very good idea of what he does. Like when you fight me, I love to bring like that hidden gem.
Yeah, there's always that hit like because Sean, your teams are always 1 mon Rex and 5 mon support it, and it's finding out how you're trying to win. And like, and there's so many ways that someone can win a match that like, you don't know until it's happened. That like you screwed up.
Yeah, you and me, Matt. Like, it always comes down to 1 or 2 turns worth of RNG that decides the match. Like,
and it always comes down. It always like some of those matches were like you calling me out like the day of, like, hey, want to battle in 30 minutes, and I always accept it for some reason, and then it screws me over because like I go into match.
I think you've lost every single one where I'm like,
yeah,
I'm good to go within the next hour. Like, when are you good? And you're like, yeah,
yeah.
sure, I'm good.
Because my mindset is I need to have like a day's notice kind of idea. So like, I need to know going into the night that tomorrow that match is happening.
Yeah, like
I just need my pre-battle poo, and I'm good.
Well, you showed it last season in playoffs against me. Like, you had enough notice and you came out. And I think it was decided again in 1 or 2 turns, but you pulled out the win.
Yeah, but those playoffs, I was having a rough season, and like my light at the end of the tunnel was Sean's won both seasons. Yeah. Just go get into the wild card spot. You'll probably play Sean first round, knock him out, knock him to the losers bracket, give him his first playoff loss, and once that happened, I'm like, yes, that's all I wanted, and it was just kind of like up from there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, so
next battle, I guess.
Yeah, next battle, I guess.
That's Mark and Squazzer, right?
Yeah.
If one of you wants to start, go ahead. I gotta run upstairs for a sec.
Oh, okay.
All right, I'll start.
Yeah, sure.
So, Squaz, I think almost every game he's either let off Sharpedo or Electivire.
He let off Mammo versus me.
Okay, yeah, and that was just.
No, wait, no, he didn't, because his Electivire got a kill before I killed Mammo.
Okay, yeah.
I'm actually pulling that. Wait, I'm pulling that up just because.
Basically, I think Mark made the good play if you're going Molotov, getting that burn off early, and what's most likely the Sharpedo. And so yeah, so I don't have much notes because I felt like this game played fairly straight.
No, he led Mammo versus me, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, so basically, like, Squaz goes Electivire, which, I mean, I think Mark should have fired off a bunch of Scalds here. I don't know if he fires off Toxic. I think Scald was a better, because unless it was like a sub Calm Mind Laddie, that would have been bad if he burned that.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like, but Mark goes Toxic, and then Squaz makes the really good play of Earthquaking on the Camerupt, and just completely annihilates it. Gets a crit. I don't know if that mattered. Probably not, because Campbell, unless Mark was defensive, which I'm pretty sure he wasn't.
Yeah.
But then after that, we see Pinsir, and I don't know if Squaz was Flame Body or Swarm. I believe that's what Low Corona gets. but like he doesn't get the flame body if he did have it on Pincer, which is on Fort, but he gets the quiver dance on the Hitmonlee, and basically Mark gets a fake off out normal gem, and I don't know if Squaz knows much about that, but if you see fake out normal gem Hitmonlee, 100% it's unburdened and it's about to outspeed you in record day.
But to be fair, it doesn't show up the gem. It's in the chat. Like you have to read through to see that it powered up the attack.
Yeah, I guess that's true. But yeah, so and then also with that damage, it would have shown that Mark is adamant as well. I'm pretty sure that Fago showed he was adamant. And so basically, like now you're at a point where this Hitmonlee's out. It's probably going to kill this Volcarona. And when you look at at Mark's team in this Volcarona, once this Hitmonlee's not unburdened anymore, if he's Quiver Dance with Fire Move and Giga Drain, it annihilates Mark's team. It absolutely destroys him. And he lets it die. And I think that was his biggest mistake, is if he had Giga Drain on that, I think he just straight up won. But then after that, Squaz goes, Mega Latias, and he can kill this Hitmonlee with Psyshock, but he decides to Calm Mind up once, and then he kills the Hitmonlee, but at that point, he's at 20%, and Daresby comes out and gets that kill. And then after that, like, he goes Sharpedo. I don't know if he did the Kelk or not, but he should have seen Choice Band. Daresby kills it, so I don't think he should have gone that. But then he goes Lantern, and then after that, like, Mark makes the good play of going for Energy Ball, and I'm pretty sure Squaz like always scarfs the Chandelure. So Mark calls that, and then after that, really the game just plays out, and the rest of Squaz's Mons can't really break Mark's team, and Mark just wins from that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's basically what I have too. Like, Mark had good early play. Like, he got the defense up on the Melodic. Squaz got the good prediction on the camera up for the OHKO. He got the unburdened kill against the Volcanion. And then, like, overall, Diggersby just kind of wrecked.
I do want to say, like, the only part that scared me a little was Melodic checked the Chandelure, other than Energy Ball. And what I don't like is if you go to turn... So you go to... I like this at turn 16. He gets to recover off against the Hydreigon. But Hydreigon, 100% of the time, you go Whimsicott. Like, Whimsicott just...
Yeah, there's no way he's pressing Flamethrower or Flash Cannon here. Yeah,
like, you know what I mean? Like, Whimsicott is just such a good check to Hydreigon. And you're even living the hit, you know what I mean? Like, and if not, you have I'm pretty sure that's the Scarf Pincer, right?
I think so.
I'm pretty sure he brought, like, Scarf Moxie Pincer, and you get your X Scissor. And then if not, you just go... I don't know, it just rubbed me the wrong way that you have such a good check in Whimsicott, and you just let your Melodic go down, which is crucial to taking on the Chandelure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like, Mark played well, but he did make a couple of misplays.
Because, like, right now he's relying on two things: the Fire Blast to not crit, and the knockoff to first off not to get burned, and then the knockoff to kill.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if he got burned. It was a different story. I'll do a damage calc here to see, because he was banded, right?
Always. Diggersby's always banded.
Wallbreaker.
Is Pincer faster than Chandelure?
Showing usage.
I forgot. Are they
No.
both 80 or is Pincer 85?
I'll check Pincer first.
I think Pincer's
85, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So he did technically outspeed. So.
Oh yeah, if they're both if they were both Scarf, yeah. I want to know knockoff. And why didn't he Earthquake?
I don't know.
Because
we'll ignore that.
Yeah, because if he got burnt, okay. If he was Adamant Choice Band and he was burned, where's burned? There's burned. Knockoff did 85 to 101. Earthquake did 132 min. So, like, there was a chance that he just sacked his Diggersby if he got burnt by the Fire Blast. It worked out for him. And if that was a Scarf Pincer, then 100% makes sense why he didn't sack it. But I don't know. Whimsicott had such a good check to Hydreigon. It just doesn't make sense why he risked sacking Melodic. Actually, never mind. Because like if you only had Chandelure and Hydreigon, scratch that. Because if Melodic got the damage it needed off against Hydreigon, because like Hydreigon could have just Dark Pulse flinched Melodic to death. But if that didn't happen, and you got the Ice Beam damage off, then
I mean, you can't count on flinching every turn like some people do.
Yeah, but because that way at least he would have been at a low enough health that Diggersby could have Diggersby and Pinsir could have finished it off.
Yeah.
It does make sense why he sacked it, I guess, in the end, but
like it wasn't really needed, but at the same time, like it was kind of a pointless sack.
Yeah, he was relying on like Scarf Pinsir to as a backup.
Yeah.
That being said, if he went Chandelure on the Moonblast by Whim,
Yeah, like
that was a bad situation.
Chandelure's a really good answer to Whim too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because think about it, like if Chandelure goes in and he still has the Hydreigon, that forces Diggersby to click Earthquake, kill it. Hydreigon kills Diggersby, and then I guess Pinsir kills Hydreigon. But I mean, it was just like I don't know, that would have put it at a 1-0.
Yeah. So let's rank these guys.
Where do these guys go? There's only 4 spots left for each player. I put Mark as 6, and I put Squaz as 10.
I have Squaz at 11, and Mark at number 3.
My numbers are a bit messed up, but I have I have Mark at 7 and Squaz at 8.
Alright, and where'd you put your guys, Alexx? You gave Mark 3?
I gave Mark 3 and Squaz 11, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I just put Mark so high because, like, I figured he's playing consistently well throughout the whole season.
Yeah.
And stuff.
I do like the way Mark's been handling stuff. Like he's not panicking in front of stuff like, what is it? Oh my gosh, Quiver Dance, Volcarona, stuff like that. The Megaladios that you had, Sean, week 1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I don't know, Squaz at 10 because he started off really strong 2-0, but he's been on a 3-game losing streak, and it's just it's I don't know, he's like careening off.
I put Squaz at 11 because he's not doing the greatest, but as a brand new player, he's probably doing the best as the brand new player.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah. Like he doesn't quite have it yet, but he's improving with every single match he gets. And like against tougher opponents like Mark, for example, like you can't really expect him to win, but at the same time he played decent for that match.
Yeah.
Alright, so last game.
Yeah, I guess we're on my game, eh?
Just give me a second to put where people changed. And Mark. I had Mark dropped one, but I don't think he played. Like, I think someone else just moved up.
Yeah.
Because he didn't play bad enough. Like he didn't play bad. Like he didn't.
No, he didn't play poorly.
Yeah. All right, last game.
Me and Javin.
Yeah. I'd say this was by far the closest match, I think, of the week.
Yeah.
And it came down to speed in the end.
Yeah.
Personally, I kind of wish I had beat Javin just because based on the division, me having a win against Javin would have been pretty crucial in the long run, but it is what it is. I'll talk about it a little bit. I didn't really critique it too much because it was so close, and I don't think either me or Javin really misplayed a whole lot.
Well, you missed overheat.
Yeah,
You
well,
didn't you didn't misplay, but you did miss.
Yeah, that wasn't a misplay. That was just a straight up miss. Javin knew that my eel always brings assault vest for the most part, and he knocked it off. And then he got the kill against one of my better tankier / damage dealing mons with a boom burst.
Yeah.
I don't think I really had anything for his Exploud.
Exploud is you had a heat ran, but like the thing with Exploud.
Live too, because I was looking at your defensive things, Alex, and I was like, honestly, you can't you don't have the defensive thing for this. Because I'm pretty sure Heatran takes 2 anyways or like Boomburst kills it in 2 turns anyways.
I didn't really have anything for the Exploud. I'll be quite honest.
That's why I love Exploud, because it just I've had it 2 seasons. You just click Boomburst, and if Boomburst doesn't work, you click Surf.
I played against you with the Exploud, and it screwed me before, and for whatever reason, I just didn't really have a good...
You still won that game, I think. I think Exploud got like 3 kills that game, but it was a playoff match that you won, like season 2, I think.
Like, my answer to it was the Assault Vest Eel, and he knocked it off, so it was basically useless at that point. So, my Farfetch'd, I didn't really serve the purpose I brought it for. That was kind of a waste.
Yeah. Well, it was a necessary sack.
Yeah.
But that being said, like, I do like how Javin played this. Like, he knew you didn't really have many switch-ins to Exploud, so he got rid of your one switch.
It was a good sack, but at the same time, like, it was kind of a wasted slot for me. Like, I probably could have brought something better.
Yeah.
Go with the Exploud over bringing a Farfetch. Like, if I brought Stack Attacka against the Exploud, I probably would have been fine.
Oh, you switching to that Focus Blast, you're going to be regretting that.
Yeah, but he always...
you should go over Boomburst like 100% of the time.
Yeah.
It's 100% Boomburst. And I even thought about it, too, when I team prepped, that, like, I had thought about bringing Assault Vest, Stack Attacka, just for the Boomburst Exploud.
And then, like, the other thing I want to mention, too, with this is, like, Alex, your fastest Mon bar Beedrill is base 79, because we don't count Regigigas. And so... Basically, and then when you look at that base 79, you have like 100 base Metacham, 109 Kartana, 92 Landorus, and I want to say 85 Neo King.
Yeah. So
like he just had so many threats that outsped your entire team, and that's what it came down to in the end, was that as long as that Neo King was alive, the Tapu Bulu couldn't win.
Yeah, I'm gonna go down to those last plays too, because it was a bit of a win condition I found. Like, I went back and rewatched it and found if Javin hadn't broken the sub, Tapu Bulu would have won.
Yeah, that was a good sack with the Medicham. He knew Neto King had the power.
Him sacking that Medicham to break the sub won him the game. That was his win condition. If he had not done that, I won the game. Like, that's what it came down to at the end. If he had misplayed that, I won. That was it. And, like, the fact that he recognized that that's what he needed to do to win.
Yeah.
Like, that was his big play to win the game. Was that last few turns.
Mm-hmm.
And that is what I was personally really impressed with that match, was that he saw his win condition and he got it.
Yeah. Because I want to say, like, Javin was good last season. But, like, this season, I just feel like he stepped it up a notch. And, like, it's showing in his matches. It might be because he's a Lando T that isn't weak to ground moves. But like, I'm liking the way he's been playing.
Yeah, same. Like, I don't know. I thought that I went into this match kind of expecting I would win this match, and he threw me for a loop, and I lost. Like, I underestimated him hugely. I'll say
the same thing. Last season, Brandon messaged me before my match. He was like, when I was team building, he brings the same 6 Mons. Just prep for those same 6 Mons, whatever, and then you'll win. And I went in like, I know the 6 he's bringing, I'm gonna win. And I was going through that bad part of my season, but I lost. And I'm like, I was sitting there, I'm like, I knew the 6 he was bringing. How did I still lose? But like this season, he's bringing more threats, different things, and he's just stepping it up a notch from last season.
Yeah, I don't know if he's gone back to seasons past and saw that I've struggled against Exploud, and that's why he brought it. Because, like, I'm not even sure how often he's brought the Exploud, to be quite honest.
I'm pretty sure, I'll look right now. I don't think he's brought it much.
Yeah, like, I don't
Steaming
think
Cup with Javin. Xploud has been to 2 games. 1
one
win,
of them
2
was mine.
kills. Yeah.
So like, I mean, Xcloud.
I'm still waiting on that Bruxish.
Yeah.
Or that Delphox and that Malamar.
Yeah.
But mainly that Bruxish.
Yeah, like, Xcloud was a big threat to my team, and I didn't prep well enough for it because I'd only seen it in the one match, and I underestimated it hugely.
Mm-hmm. But like in this league, there is that part in my mind that's like, this person isn't bringing this thing, and
Yeah.
Like, part of you thinks it's like, oh, it might just be inexperience, that they're not comfortable with it or something like that, and then part of me is like, well, I don't want to get screwed because I underestimated my opponent, and then like, I don't know, like
yeah, that was like straight up, he didn't bring it since what, week 1 or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's 4 weeks up to this match where he doesn't bring it. I'm like, he's probably not going to bring it. Like, I'll have something just in case, but I didn't bring something specifically for it.
It's like it's one of those things that it's like, if he does have it, I have a way to deal with. I have a way to like dance around it, but I'm not committing myself to him bringing this.
Yeah.
But that being said, it's really hard to sack something as powerful as Kartana just to get rid of a vest. Like that is like that's a big boy play.
I really like that play. Like,
yeah.
I was like, why is he keeping Kartana in? And then he got the knockoff. I was like, shit.
Yeah. That's a big boy play. Like
yeah.
And that play won him the game.
Yeah. Like, he took the flamethrower, yes, it
yeah.
killed him, but
that's the jump on the grenade, so you, like your teammates can roll through kind of play.
Yeah, I thought Javin did well that game.
Let's rank these guys.
Yeah. Do you have any final thoughts, Sean? Or?
Look at my notes. No, not really.
Yeah, let's just get into this ranking.
I'll throw my ranks in just because this was my battle. I put myself at 6 and Javin at 5.
You didn't put yourself at 5 and Javin at 6?
No. Well, he beat me, right? So he automatically ranks better. And he played extremely well. Like, it was a tough game for me. I didn't have it easy.
Yeah. I put you at 8, Alex, more or less because I was debating between you and Steven where to go, and Steven got the win. And like, he got a dominating win this week, and then you got a close loss, so I felt like I had to put, because like the whole like 4 or 5 to like 8 section was really hard to pick.
Oh, I know. Like, I'm going through it. I'm like, who do I even put? Like,
yeah, it was really. It came down to like
4, but at the same time, Sean could easily be higher or lower depending on how somebody performs in a week, right?
Yeah, and where'd you have them, Sean?
I have Alex 5 and Javin 6.
Ooh.
Oh, rough.
And like the mindset behind this, Alex, you've been did really good. So you're up there. Javin, like he's basically he's tied with me right now as of end of week 6. But it's the thing with that is like I have him lower than he should be, just because he almost lost to Turner, which is like basically a big no. Like that's the only way I can put that.
Are you saying
the rest of his.
You're gonna put Jordan at 16 as soon as he loses to Jordan or to Turner?
Yeah. But yeah, and then basically the rest of the games he's played bottom tier people, but he's done good against those. And his first big boy game against me, I completely rolled over him, and so he's sort of down there. And next week he gets that 6-0, but that's against Josh, so again another bottom PR. But then after that is when I think we'll really get to see where Javin falls, because and he gets the 4 over Dan. But after that, he fights Liam, the Kingslayer. He fights where is he? He fights Druve, which that'll be interesting to see if Druve can get the because I think that weather will do good against the team.
Yeah.
He fights Steven, which Steven is a veteran. He fights me again. And then he fights you, Alex.
Yeah.
So basically, the second half of the season is actually mostly all hard games. So I think once we start seeing those battles in the coming weeks, that's when I can really like put him up high if he starts getting those wins against the more top tier players.
Well, I can tell you, next match I'm actually going to prep for the boom burst.
So yeah, so it's just like he is a little bit lower just because most of his games have been against bottom tier people.
Yeah,
His
that's fair.
big boy game against me, he got destroyed.
No, I'll agree to that. Like, yeah,
That's kind of my
he is
reasoning,
he
right?
is like what 6-1 at this point in the season, and he's
Hey,
played.
spoiler alerts.
He's played. Well, you guys already spoiled it. You already spoiled it. What are you talking about? And he's played. He hasn't played Zach yet though, but I think he's played the majority of the people in his conference, and most of them are at the lower half of the. Yeah, because he's played Dan, who's in the lower end of the PR. Same with Josh, Zach, Drew, and Turner. So like he's only played 2 people that are I would say that are like 10 or above in the PR.
Yeah.
And he's 1-1 if you go with those. But his other matches are like inflating his plus minus.
Yeah, that's like Matt or Mike, right?
Yeah.
Another thing too is like a lot of his wins are he brings the talk specs and Blissey, and the lower tier people don't know how to handle that, and he gets those massive wins because you basically have 2 mons that wall the whole team.
Yeah. I'm kind of upset I don't get to play his team. It's looking like a fun team to prep for.
Yeah, it's pretty good to prep for. I had fun prepping for it. I just wish I had prepped a little differently. Like I said, I kind of got cocky with it. I thought I had to win. But yeah, I guess that's it, eh?
That's week 5.
It's week 5.
Doing week 6 later.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I could do it tonight, but we'll be here till 2 in the morning.
Well, I don't even have it ready, and I work.
Yeah.
I get up at
That gives me more time to work on it too. We could probably do it tomorrow or Monday night. Maybe Tuesday night. Does Tuesday night work?
Well, then we want to try and get 7 done by Tuesday.
Yeah, but like I know I have a 7 a.m. on Tuesday. So if we did Monday not too late, I'm cool. So like this, like if I'm to bed before midnight on Monday night, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I'll confirm with you guys what works for me, but
Yeah.
I'm not sure what my schedule looks like for the next couple days. Because if I'm at my regular job, then I'll be out till at least 10:40.
On like every night.
Yeah, it just depends if I'm there this week on like either Monday or Tuesday. Like I know for Sunday.